Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and this is where I talk about all bookish things that I love. So, I just filmed this entire video and then went to edit it and got about 15 minutes into editing and I realized that the audio got screwed up. It didn't match the video. So now I'm refilming the entire thing and I'm so irritated by this, but I got no choice because the other one doesn't work. So this video is going to be me talking about some historical romances that I own physically that are high on my priority list to get to. I think I have 9 or 10 and we're just gonna chat about them and what they're about and me wanting why I want to read them. Basically, that's where we're at. So the first one that I wanted to talk about is Tessa Dare's A Night to Surrender. This is book 1 in her Spindle Cove series. I have read a lot of Tessa Dare's books. I've read her whole Girl Meets Duke series and her whole Castles Ever After series, and this is one of her older series. This is Spindle Cove, and Spindle Cove is basically this place where women go when they are spinsters, when nobody will marry them, or they're ruined, or they're old now, and it's a place as like a refuge for women to go to when they don't have husbands. And the people in Spindle Cove like teach them like different activities and stuff that they have like different activities where the people will teach them how to do things that they aren't really like ladies don't normally know. So this one is, it says Spindle Cove is the destination of choice for certain types of well-bred young ladies, the painfully shy, the young wives disenchanted with matrimony, and young girls too enchanted with the wrong men. It is a haven for those who live there. Victor Bramwell knows he doesn't belong there. So far he can tell there's nothing in this place but spinsters and sheep. But he has no choice. He has orders to gather a militia. It's a simple mission made complicated by the spirited, exquisite Susanna Finch, a woman who is determined to save her personal utopia from the invasion of Bram's makeshift army. Susanna has no use for aggravating men, and Bram has sworn off interfering women. The scene is set for an epic battle, but who can be named the winner when both have so much to lose? So, I really hope I love this. I really think I'm going to love this. I just really appreciate Tessa Dare's writing and her, like, how approachable her books are. They don't have a lot of like, sorry, can you see the ring light in my glasses? I'm really sorry. What was I saying? Oh, Tessa Dare's writing is very approachable. They don't have a lot of like really big words. They don't have a lot of like English, English like lingo that makes it hard to read historicals. They're very fun and easy and quick and sexy and flirty, and I just love them, and I think I'm gonna love Spindle Cove, especially because I'm a huge fan of spinsters. I love when women are like older and like more mature, even if they're like not mature like sexually, like still virgins. I'm okay with, like, I don't love a virgin heroine, but I prefer a virgin heroine who's much more mature with the rest of her life. Like, she like knows things rather than one who's like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So I love a woman who like knows what she wants and knows the way of the world, basically. So I think that Spindle Cove is going to be full of those kind of heroines, and I'm gonna love that. All right. The next one is Wicked Intentions by Elizabeth Hoyt. I have read 2 or 3 Elizabeth Hoyt's books, and I've read them in the same series that this one is. This is book 1 in the Maiden Lane series, and this series has so many books in it. So the books that I've read by Elizabeth Hoyt are like book like 15 and 16 in the Maiden Lane series. So I want to go back and read book 1 and read the whole Maiden Lane series because the ones that I have read of Elizabeth Hoyt, I absolutely loved. She's another one who has a really great, like, very approachable writing. I really like her books. They're very fun and the plots are really interesting, which I really like. And one thing that this one includes that a lot of others of hers include is it says Lazarus, Lord Care is searching for a savage killer in St. Giles, London's most notorious slum. So like a lot of her books have some sort of like mysterious element to them. So like not quite romantic suspense, but like those types of elements where they like have like some sort of mystery or a killer or a murderer that's like going around and they have to figure out who it is. And I love that included in historicals. Another thing that's in this one is that I really think I'm gonna like is the class difference element. So Lord Clare, who's looking for this killer, it says widowed Temperance Dews knows the area like the back of her hand. She cares for its children at the foundling home her family established, but now that home is at risk. Care makes a simple offer. In return for Temperance's help navigating the perilous alleys of St. Giles, he will introduce her to high society so that she can find a benefactor for the home. Temperance may not be the innocent she seems, and what begins as a cold bargain soon falls prey to a passion neither can control and a passion that may well destroy them both. So she is not a lady, but he's a lord, and that is one of my favorite elements in historicals. I just think it adds so much drama to the book where they're like, society doesn't want them to be together, but they're like, we can't keep apart, and I love it. I think it's so cool. So I'm really, really excited. And a bunch of people have been reading this one lately. I know that Jen from the Book Refuge just read and loved this one. So I'm excited that I have this. Okay, the next one is The Bride by Julie Garwood. I have read a couple of Julie Garwood's. I think I've read 2 or 3 of hers. And I really want to read more of hers because I own all of them. And I know that Sam from Sam Reads a Little just read this one and really liked it, so I chose this one as the next Julie Garwood that I want to read. So I don't really know what this one's about, but I will read the back. It says, it's a bold, breathless tale of rebellious woman, a fierce chieftain, and the searing love that sealed their destiny. An edict of the king may not be challenged. Eric Kincaid, mightiest of the Scottish lairds, must take an English bride, and Jamie, youngest daughter of Baron Jameson, was his choice. And from his first glimpse of the feisty, violet-eyed beauty, Alec felt a burning hunger stir within him. This was a woman worthy of his fearless warrior's spirit, and he ached to touch her, tame her, and possess her forever. But with the wedding vows, Jamie pledged her own secret oath. She would never surrender her love to this Highland barbarian. He was everything her heart warned against, an arrogant, brooding scoundrel whose rough good looks spoke of savage pleasures. And though Kincaid's scorching kisses fired her blood, though his seductive embrace roused her passion, she brazenly resisted him, until one impetuous moment of rapture quelled their clash of wills, and something far more dangerous than desire threatened to conquer her senses. It sounds so good, and it has a bunch of different things that I think I'll really like. So it gives me like Never Seduce a Scot vibes by Maya Banks, which I absolutely love, because that one starts off with an edict from the king that says they have to like join clans, so it's like rivals that have to join. And this is a similar where it's like the English and the Scottish hate each other, so like having to marry an English person is like the worst thing a Scottish person can do. So I love that that's forced on them. I think that that's going to be a really dramatic element that'll be added. And then it also gives me like The Secret by Julie Garwood, which is one of my favorite Julie Garwood books, where the Scottish hate the English. So in that book, The Secret, there's this like part where the English are like taking the Scottish are taking the English woman back to Scotland, and they have all of these stereotypes of like what an English lass should be like, and Judith from The Secret just completely destroys all their stereotypes, and I love that. And I think that this is going to be a similar thing where they are Scottish and they have this idea of like what an English lady is like, and then the English lady is like absolutely nothing like that. So they kept being like, wait, English ladies aren't supposed to look like that, women aren't supposed to do that. And it added so much banter, like broody banter between the two of them, and I absolutely loved it. So I think that this is going to have that too, which should be really, really fun. So I love that. I also like that Jamie doesn't want him. Like, it seems like Alec is like, he's like okay with the fact that he has to marry a Scottish woman. He's like accepted that fact, and or has to marry an English woman, and he's accepted that fact, and Jamie is like, hell no. So I love that, and I love this cover. If anyone knows how to get the Sharpie off the cover without damaging the cover, please let me know, because I've been trying to get this off and I can't get it off. Okay, next one. let's go with this one. So the next one is On the Way to the Wedding by Julia Quinn. So this one is the last book in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn, and this is Gregory's book. And so I have read all the other Bridgerton books. I did the Bridgerton read along. I did with all the people who hosted them on YouTube, and I was following along with that for the longest time, and then I didn't read like the last 2 books. And then I read Hyacinth's book for the last historical romance readathon, and this is the only one I haven't read yet, Gregory's book. And I just don't know why I never got to it, but I really, really, really want to get to it lately. So this one is Gregory's book, and it says, unlike most men of his acquaintance, Gregory Bridgerton believes in true love, which is so sweet. He's convinced that when he finds the woman of his dreams, he will know in an instant that she is the one, and that is exactly what happened, except she wasn't the one. In fact, the ravishing Miss Hermione is in love with another, but her best friend, the ever practical Lady Lucinda, wants to save Hermione from a disastrous alliance, so she offers to help Gregory win her over. But in the process, Lucy falls in love with Gregory, except Lucy's engaged, and her uncle is not inclined to let her back after the betrothal. Even once Gregory comes to his senses and realizes that Lucy, with her sharp wit and sunny smile who makes his heart sing, is now on the way to the wedding, Gregory must risk everything to ensure that when it comes time to kiss the bride, he is the only man standing at the altar. It sounds so adorable, and I absolutely love that this one is so different from the other brothers because Benedict, Anthony, and Colin all didn't want to get married. They were all like, I don't want to get married, I don't want love, I am not into this. They were like not ready yet, and they were so much older, and they were just like, I'm not ready yet. But Gregory is like actively searching for his true love, and I think that's just so adorable. I love a man that believes in love. I think it'll be so cute, and I love those plot lines where like the guy teams up with the girl to like fall in love, to like help get the other girl, and then they two end up falling in love. If that makes sense. I'm sorry. But I love that plot line, so I think this is gonna be really cute. And look how adorable this step back is. Did I show you the step backs for the other one? This is the Wicked Intentions step back. It's this like really pretty 2-page step back. And then this one is Tessa Dare's, which also has a pretty 2-page step back. Okay, next one. The next one is one that I will be reading for sure this month, and that is The Heiress Gets a Duke by Harper St. George. This is the Ravished by Romance pick for April, which is the book club that's run by Jess from Peace Love Books and Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers, and I participate with them every month. So I know for sure I'm going to be reading this one this month, and this one concerns me just a little bit, not by like the plot line, but because I've heard a couple of people not love this one. Specifically, Tori from Novel Life, I think, didn't love this one. I think she maybe gave it like 3 stars. So I'm trying not to get like my hopes super up because I know that it's very like polarizing, that like some people really like it and some people really don't like it. So I hope that I really like it, but I don't want to like get my hopes up too much, even though the back sounds really good. So it says, American heiress August Crenshaw has aspirations, but unlike her peers, and she isn't some stuffy British lord who wants American heiress August Crenshaw has aspirations, but unlike her peers, it isn't some British lord she wants wrapped around her finger. It's Crenshaw Ironworks, her family business. When it's clear that August's outrageously progressive ways render her unsuitable for a respectable match, her parents offer her younger sister to the highest entitled bidder instead. This simply will not do. August refuses to leave her sister to the mercy of a loveless marriage. Evan Sterling, the Duke of Rothschild, has no intention of walking away from the marriage. He recently inherited the title only to find his coffers empty. And with countless lives depending on him, he can't walk away from the fortune a Crenshaw heiress would provide him. But after meeting the fiery sister, he realizes Violet isn't the heiress he wants. He wants August, and he always gets what he wants. But August won't go peacefully to her fate. She decides to show Rothschild that she is no typical London wallflower. Little does she realize that every stunt she pulls to make him call off the wedding only makes him want her more. So like the the back sounds really, really good. And it sounds like it would have some elements that I really like in historicals. One being a girl who doesn't want the marriage, but a guy who wants the marriage. I love when that happens, when the like guy is like actively pursuing the girl. I think that's really fun. And I love when the girl is like trying to make the guy not like her, if that makes sense. So I think that that'll be really fun. And I love how very strong and independent August sounds, even though I keep thinking August is a man. I've never heard of a girl named August, so that's interesting. But I really, really like that elements of a book, so I hope I like it. But we'll see. So, okay, next one. Let's go this one. The next one is Lorraine Heath falling into bed with the Duke. I've read one other Lorraine Heath book and I really liked it, but this is the one that everyone says, like everyone always recommends when I say that I want to read more Lorraine Heath. So this one is about a girl, here's the step back. This one is about a girl named Minerva who has had like multiple seasons and she hasn't had like any offers. So she decides to choose spinsterhood over fortune-hungry suitors. But she wants like one night of pleasure before she like agrees to be a spinster for the rest of her life. And so she goes to this club called the Nightingale Club, where she can enjoy one night of pleasure. At this notorious establishment, ladies don masks before choosing a lover. The sinfully handsome Duke of Ashbury is more than willing to satisfy the secretive lady's desires and draws Minerva into an exquisite, increasingly intimate affair. A man of remarkable talents, Ash soon deduces that his bedmate is the unconventional Miss Dodger. Intrigued by her wit and daring, he sets out to woo her in earnest, yet Minerva refuses to trust him. How to court a woman he has already thoroughly seduced, and how to prove that the passion unleashed in darkness is only the beginning of a lifetime of pleasure. I think it sounds amazing. I absolutely love, like I said before, I love a man pursuing a woman. I love when he like actively wants her and is like trying to like get her to like him. I think that's so fun. And I love spinsters. Is that weird? I love seeing spinsters in books because I love them. Like, I think I said that when I was talking about Spindle Cove. I love the spinsters who like have multiple seasons and are like, I'm not settling for some ridiculous man who just wants my money. I actually am looking for somebody that I think I'll like. And I love the spinsters, so I think this will be great. Okay, next one. Let's go this one. This one is What a Lady Wants by Victoria Alexander. This is the only Victoria Alexander book that I own, but I think this is the second in a series. But you can read them as standalones. I bought this one for the step back. Okay, so this one, it says, Nigel Cavendish knows he'll marry one day, but hopefully that day is many years and many women in the future. Until then, the handsome, unrepentant rake intends to enjoy life's pleasures to the fullest. I love a rake. From the moment Lady Felicity spies the adventurous scoundrel climbing from a neighbor's window with his comely conquest's husband in hot pursuit, she knows Nigel is the answer to her prayers, with a little reformation, of course. Felicity craves excitement, and who in all of London is more exciting than the infamous Mr. Cavendish? So what's a girl to do but hatch a scheme to win what she so fervently desires? But her plan works too well when a game of chance and an errant pistol shot abruptly makes them husband and wife, but in a way neither wanted. Now Felicity has to prove to her wayward husband that she is the only woman he could ever want or need. I think it sounds super interesting. First, don't you think Cavendish is such an overused name in historicals? I see so many historicals with the last name Cavendish. So I wonder if that's like an actual real historically accurate last name. But I love a duel, and it seems like there's going to be a duel because it says an errant pistol shot makes them husband and wife. So I hope there's a duel. I love a duel in historicals. I think they add so much drama. And then I love the women who like are trying to like break the rules, because it says that Felicity craves excitement, and I feel like that's like something that I really love in historicals, like very like 9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake by Sarah MacLean, where they're like sick of doing the right thing and they just like want to have fun. So I think that that will be a really fun one to read, with a very like intriguing plot. I think it'll be really fun. So it says, 1 bachelor down, 3 more to go. 4 most desirable gentlemen have waged 1 shilling apiece and a bottle of cognac that will go to the last unmarried man standing. So that one, that like goes along with it being in a series. I think the first Bachelor Down was like the first book in the series. Okay. Next one is A Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNaught. This one is an old school historical. There's the step back. I think it's like 85 or something like that. Let's check. 89. I was close. So I want to read more old school historicals. I have only read 1 or 2. And I've heard really, really good things about this one, and I haven't heard any consent problems with it, so let me know if that's true. I'll have to double check, but if you've read this one and there's no consent problems in it, or if there is consent problems in it, please let me know in the comments, because I don't want to read it if it has consent problems. But this one is about a girl who is a Scottish, it says feisty Scottish beauty Jennifer and the fierce English warrior she defies and desires. Abducted from her convent school, headstrong Jennifer does not easily surrender to Royce, Duke of Claymore, also known as the Wolf. His very name strikes terror in the hearts of his enemies, but proud Jennifer will have nothing to do with this man who holds her captive, this handsome rogue who taunts her with blazing arrogance. Boldly she challenges his will until the night he takes her in his powerful embrace, and awakening in her an irresistible hunger. I love the kind of books where it's like they're like trying to kill each other or like one's trying to kill the other. I think it's so fun, and I think it's so dramatic and so just like so feisty. I love a feisty heroine. So I also really like that this is the opposite of like The Bride, where it's like the English man and Scottish woman. So I think that that'll add a like little bit of a twist. I'd love to see if it has like the same similar elements of like English and Scottish people hating each other. But I haven't read a kidnapped romance in a while, so that'll be really fun, and I've heard really good things. Okay, last one. So the last one is 11 Scandals to Start to Win a Duke's Heart by Sarah MacLean. Here is that pretty step back. So this is book 3 in her Love in Numbers series, Love by Numbers series. The first one is 9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake, and the second one is, I don't remember, but it's like 10. It starts with 10. I absolutely loved 9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake. I give it 5 stars. It's one of my all-time favorite historicals. I did not like at all the second one. It was so boring. No. So Sarah MacLean is a bit of a hit or miss author with me. I think I've read like 10 of her books, and I absolutely loved 5 of them, and I absolutely did not like the other 5. So I really hope that I love this one, and it sounds like one that I'll like. A lot of them that I didn't like had specific like tropes in it that I'm not a fan of. Like I don't like second chance romance and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna really like this one. So this one is about a girl named Juliana who is Italian, and she has half brothers. Her half brothers are, I think, viscounts or marquises, that are English. So she goes to live with her brothers, and her brothers are like, wow, you're Italian, you don't have any like society training, and they are trying to make her like acceptable in society. But it says, bold, impulsive, and a magnet for trouble, Juliana Fiore is no simpering English miss. She refuses to play by society's rules. She speaks her mind, cares nothing for the approval of the ton, and can throw a punch with remarkable accuracy. I hope that's in the book. Her scandalous nature makes her a favorite subject of London's most practiced gossips, and precisely the kind of woman the Duke of Lytton wants far, far away from him. Scandal is the last thing Simon Pearson has room for in his well-ordered world. The Duke of Disdain is too focused on keeping his title untainted and his secrets unknown. But when he discovers Juliana hiding in his carriage late one evening, risking everything he holds dear, he swears to teach the reckless beauty a lesson in propriety. She has other plans, however. She wants 2 weeks to prove that even an unflappable duke is not above passion. So I really think I'm gonna like it. I really hope I like it, because especially with how much that I loved 9 Rules to Break, I think that this one is much more my style. That's going to be much more similar to 9 Rules to Break, with a but I think it's going to be almost the opposite of 9 Rules to Break, where it's like a woman corrupting basically a man rather than the man being like helping the woman like break the rules. Because like in 9 Rules to Break, it's about a girl who is like over doing the right thing, and she comes up with all these things that are like breaking the rules that she wants to experience. So I think that Juliana is gonna like do that with Simon, where Simon has to like break out of his comfort zone a little bit. And so I think that that's gonna be really interesting. So those were all the ones that I wanted to talk about. Those are all ones that I own physically that I really, really want to get to. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought of them. I really, I hope I love all of them, but that is it for this video. Please like if you liked it, subscribe. It really helps out my channel. But that's all. Have a great day.